Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, I put out a video yesterday about this new legendary fusion, which is going to go live next week on the 9th of September. And it is an absolute banger of a champion. I think it's going to be the best fusion we've had of the year. And we've had a couple of really good fusions this year. It's going to be a fragment collector champion. And I asked in my last video, do you want to kind of updated tips on how to achieve this fusion? And there was like a resounding, yes, please, we need help. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. We're going to run through how do you prepare to get the mighty UKKO. And I always say like the best starting point to prepare for something like this is to understand what these type of events normally look like, because they follow a pretty consistent pattern. The last one we had here was Walking Tomb Dreng as a fragment collector, and that's what it is. They're normally a bit easier than what we class as an old school fusion where you've got to collect other champions along the way. So the Walking Tomb Dreng was the last one we had. And I would say there's 4 different types of resources that you have to be ready for. Yeah, you have to start to prepare for. And you can do it from today. And you'll be surprised how much you can prepare within a week. Honestly, like you will be shocked at how much you can get together in a week if you put your mind to it. So the 4 different areas, we've got Champion Chase and Summon Rush. That's all about shards and summoning champions or collecting champions. Okay, I'll talk through that in detail first because I think it's the one that people normally fall foul on. The second one is all about having food champions ready as a resource. Yeah, you've got champion training tournaments. Normally there are 2 champion training event. Sometimes there's even 3. Yeah, so there's often a lot of champion training to be done. It's a grind, okay? But it's cool because you get to move on champions that are sitting around that you wanted to level out. You move them up to 6 stars and you actually get them into some of your teams. Yeah, so it feels like a grind, and I get it. It's probably one of my least favorite things to do in terms of these events. But it probably is one of the most impactful things for your account. So food is the second one. The third one is all about energy and gems, really. Gems equals energy in this type of event. Dragon tournament, Ice Golem tournament, Fire Knight tournament. And I guess there's a relationship between have you got enough energy and gems prepped? What can you do? And also, are your teams cutting it? Have you moved your teams on to the level where you actually start to get decent points as a reward? Yeah, and what can you do in a week? You'll be surprised, especially if you just picked up Ultimate Death Knight. And then the last one is all about arena. So there's always a couple of arena tournaments where you just need to spam out a decent amount of arena fights, and depending on where you are in the game, you just need to make sure that your team makes some sort of sense. Yeah, and you can go ahead and beat your brackets up for the amount of time you've been playing in the game. So that's kind of it. 4 areas of the game. Let's start with shards. Now, Champion Chase and Summon Rush, 2 different events. Might be like, well, it's just the same thing. It's not the same thing. Summon Rush, you have to summon champions through shards. And the best type of shards for that are going to be sacred shards, because it's just a straight 500 point smack. And normally you need a good 6 or 7. Yeah? At least 5. Okay? Sacred shards. After that, you have to start filling it with void shards and then obviously ancient. Or if you've been doing some good prep, you'll have mystery shards to go as well. Champion Chase is different. You just have to collect champions in some form. Okay, so Champion Chase, you could go in and buy champions from the market for a point. You could go in and do some of the fusion work. So get yourself a Relic Keeper, 250 points in the bag. And all of these are farmable champions to do it. So this is about some prep here. You can go and get this prep done. Broadmoor, farmable uncommon champions down here, and then 2 champions that you can get from the bazaar. So again, you can put the work in, start buying up these fragments from the bazaar, and get yourself ready to be able to get a Broadmoor when Champion Chase comes around, and that's going to be 350 points. Oh, welcome. Razin, 250 points per epic that you fuse if you've got the rares ready to go. And if you fuse Razin himself, that's like 500 points. Okay, so all of these things you can get to work towards. You just need to look at your own account and see what bits of the puzzle you've got and, you know, which parts that you can kind of push towards. Now, if you've been listening to other videos, like I've talked about this a bunch of times, don't go ahead and just pull champions willy-nilly. Wait until these champion chase events come round and then you'll find them a lot easier. I've got Drexar. I'm dying to get Drexar on the free-to-play. I'm dying to get him into the teams. But I'm waiting. I'm waiting. There will be tons of people that comment when we come around to this fragment event, and I see it in yesterday's video. I've been playing for ages and I never have got a fusion or a fragment champion. It's impossible as a free-to-play. It's impossible for blah, 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 blah. The only way it's impossible is if you have got zero patience. Yeah, you've had half a beer, you're a bit tipsy on a Tuesday night, you pull every shard you've got, then it comes around to a fragment, and then it's those people that say it's impossible. It's not. You just have to plan and control yourself. That's what you've got to do. So I'll talk about this referral champion in a second. But, you know, if you're collecting up Doom Tower champions like Archmage, hold on to them. Same sort of thing if you've got Mithrala. Any of these, hold on to them until the champion chase events come in. And when they actually go live, you can just kind of like consider to yourself, how many more points do I actually need? And start to do some work in, you know, have you been saving up your mystery shards? When you're prepping your food, which we'll talk about in a minute, you can keep collecting more and more mystery shards. Every time the marketplace resets, you can go in and look for mystery shards. Yeah, you can get yourself a good old bank of them just sitting around. You know, I'm on the free to play here. I'm 180 odd days in. I'm collecting up more mystery shards than I can use. If you're very early game, this is harder to do. Okay. But there's a number of ways as well. So when we get to the summon rush, you need shards. You need physical shards to pull. Yeah. Mystery shards just alone will be difficult to cut it unless you've been playing the game for a long time. So you've got to go out and find them. 5 ancients will pop up through the month. That's an easy grab. There are a number of ways to get sacreds. So sacred shards are available in the missions. You just need to look at where you are. Have a look at the next like 10, 15 missions and plan how you're going to beat them. They're definitely achievable. Until you get to this kind of like last box towards Arbiter, they are very achievable missions. Okay, they've changed it now. It's more doable than ever. Okay, stuff like the quests, make sure you're doing your dailies, which tops up to the weekly, which tops up to the monthly, and pick up these bad boy shards in sync. And don't just use them. Wait until it's time to use them. When you are doing things like the arena, how much have you got in leftover gold bars? You see here, I bought the ancient as soon as I could. I've been buying up Drex all the time, and I bought up those kind of void fragments. So I've now got spares. I pick up myself an ancient shard whenever I can. Yeah, simple one there. Clan boss, every day. Do it every day. Whatever the level you're on, do it every day. The further you are through clan boss, the better the chance of you picking up shards. But this is a good chance. Like if you're on brutal or higher, you have a good chance of getting shards every day. If you're on nightmare or higher, you should get a shard every day. If you do an ultra nightmare, then you're laughing all the way to the next fragment, because it definitely like massively elevates where you're going to get to. Faction wars, you would be surprised how quickly you pick up shards in faction wars with the rewards. As you start to scale up, lots of ancients and voids in here. This is going to help you when you get to that champion chase and the summon rush events. And you know, you don't need like crazy champions, crazy geared. You look at some, this is a typical faction war champion for me. Yeah, if I'm in if I've got someone who I've not invested heavily in, they're in level 8 gear. Yeah, just gear that I've got around. Normally it's either HP or attack percent or something on the chest, crit rate on the gloves, something like that. Speed on the boots, even if it's like a common set of boots, it doesn't matter. Rolling something to level 8 is super cheap, and you just get them geared so that they can do the first few levels, first 6 or so levels of faction wars. And all you need to do is invest a little bit of resources, a little bit of throwing them into campaign or in the tavern, and you'll find that you can just smash through a ton of stars on faction wars and get yourself up in amongst those kind of void shards really quick. Doesn't take long at all once you've been playing the game for a little while. So you'll definitely get yourself some extra shards there. The last one I'll talk about here is the referral program. So an epic champion up for grabs. If you've got 3 friends that come into the game and get to level 10. Yeah, and if they get to level 30, which is easily doable in a week. Easily doable in a week. After that, they get a bit more time consuming, honestly. But yeah, easily doable in a week. You'll get yourself 3 voidies as well. At the end of this video, I'm going to do a bit of a clip about referrals. If you're struggling with how to do that, check out that video and hopefully that will help you out. Don't tell anyone about it, please. Don't tell anyone. Right, let's move on to food. Food champions. How do we get involved? Make sure that we've got plenty of fodder ready for champion training. And how do we make sure that we're efficient when a champion training tournament happens? It's pretty simple, really. You know, you've got energy to use on a day-to-day basis. You've got quests to do. You go in, you farm the highest point you can. Ideally, you're in at 12-3 brutal, and you're just farming up some fodder. Yeah, you're getting your 3 stars ready at max 30. You're getting your 2 stars ready at max 20. And you kind of get yourself a whole bunch of champions just ready to be leveled. Okay, just ready to be taken up to the next level. And ideally, it doesn't even need to be you pushing up to 6 stars, but honestly, you've got a week. A week is a long time in terms of the amount of energy we get on a daily basis now. Okay, it's a long time, and you will get yourself a lot of prep done in food. Now, when it comes to the actual champion training events, that's when you take somebody up from the 3-star or 30 to a 4-star, yeah? You take one of your champions up. Let's just do it to show you. And you might have saved your chickens. Look how many chickens I've got saved as a free-to-player here. Just from things like Clan v Clans, all that type of stuff. Like, you just get more than ever. So you take someone up. I'll just use chickens, I guess, because I want to ruin any of my other food. And this is what you're doing when the champion training event is on, when it's live. They go up to 4-star. Simple, right? And then you're like, well, that's now a bit of food. I don't want this champion. This is going to be food for me for the future. What you don't do is feed this champion as they are. It's a criminal thing to do. Never do it. First thing you do, depending on the level, and I've got whole videos on this, by the way, is you give them a couple of cheeky brews. So for a 4-star like this, I like to put 4 brews in. If I was doing a 2-star, I like to just give them a nice cheeky drink. Yeah, so I'd give them 2 brews. And this is giving me a lot of points for champion training. Even though I'm still going to use this as food for somebody else, putting a couple of brews into a 2-star before you feed them, 3 into a 3-star, 4 into a 4-star, etc. Oh, it gives you so many more points. Yeah, it like doubles the amount of points you would get through champion training, and it actually makes it a ton easier. So make sure you do it. Watch one of my videos about how to farm efficiently if you're still a bit confused about this, because it's a make or break if you're trying to be efficient with energy, efficient with your resources when it comes to a fragment collector. So that's the second one. Food, really important to get ready. You can do a ton of that in a week. The third one then is going to be about gems and energy. I treat them as the same thing. Gems are not shards unless you're you're into that champion chase and you just need 9 more shards to get it done. Like, there's situations where maybe they are, but they really aren't. Okay, gems are energy, and we gain a ton of gems. Like, we just gain gems. You know, there's little tournaments going on all the time just from playing the game, doing what you do. You'll just pick up the odd 15 here. You know, they're so simple now to just pick up. I bought masteries on my last 2 champions because I was doing it for content on the free-to-play, which you should never do. And like, I'm still at 1700. I just feel like I gain gems all the time. It's really not that difficult to do. Through doing things like your dailies, your advanced quests, you just pick up a few along the way. And as you're just playing the game, you know, without going crazy into these tournaments, you just pick up little bits and pieces, gems here and there. It's really just by being active in the game. So it's a pretty simple one to just keep topping up. But don't keep using them. You don't need to do a whole load of using them for energy refills through this next week. Save them for the fusion. Save them for when we actually need to get into the down and dirty into this kind of new fragment collector. your energy on a daily basis. Now, you don't want to be doing what I'm doing here. I'm over full. Okay, I don't want to be over full. I want to be using my energy as much as I can, even in this kind of preparation stage, because all the time it's sitting over full, it's not refilling. You're actually losing out on a load of energy in a day. But there's tons of energy that you get on a daily basis through quests, through it topping up, through different tournaments. Again, it's kind of similar, really. And you also get these daily energy pots. Yeah, this stuff I collect straight out, but the daily energy pots, look at this. Look how many I've got. This is from, I don't know, a while ago we got a gift. But look at all this stuff I've got, which I just didn't use yet. Yeah, anything like that. If you've not yet picked up the couple of rewards for the promo code stuff and there's energy in those, just leave them in your inbox. Yeah, you don't need to go ahead and just use them straight away. Leave them sitting there. Leave these pots sitting there. Between now and the fusion, you're going to get another, like, what, 4 or so refills that you don't need to use yet. Yeah, when you do stuff like your monthly quests, I've already got mine, actually. There's one here with, like, 200 energy in it. Don't pick it up yet. You don't need to. Just leave it there. Save it for when this fragment collector comes in. Again, when we have a kind of like a weekly reset and there's the energy stuff, just save it for when the next fragment collector comes in. Yeah, just have them sitting there waiting to go. Or you'll regret it. You'll just regret that you didn't do that. It's such a simple thing to do. And whilst you're using your energy, I guess one of the things I didn't count earlier on actually was silver. Silver's a big one. There's always artifact events. There's actually 5 things that you should be doing. Silver's a big one. I'm low right now on the free-to-play. I've built out my ultimate Death Knight and spent a load of silver on that. You basically just want to be doing a number of things for silver. As you're farming your food in campaign, you're collecting silver. As you're improving your dungeons, getting ready for next week, you'll be farming silver. You don't need to level out every piece of gear that you get right now. You don't need to do that. You can just sell off the crap as it comes in and hold on to items that you're going to level up, items you want to keep. And you level those through the artifact event and you're saving your silver in the meantime. Okay, so you don't level anything now. Unless you are literally like day 3 or 4 or something and you just need to keep progressing, don't level up a load of stuff right now. Save that silver for those artifact events and just start farming and working your way up in dungeons. Yeah, I mean, like if you're farming Spider or you can't get past stage 10, stage 10 is the level to beat when you get into the actual events. You'll get more 5-star gear from stage 10 than even like stage 12 or whatever. So if you can't beat more than 17, I'd say go back to stage 10, have less energy per run, and you get a lot of silver for selling accessories. Yeah, so this is a good place to farm silver and gear, getting ready to roll up as well. But yeah, you want to just kind of move yourself on in these different areas. I've got a ton of videos about, you know, better teams for this stuff. Hopefully you've seen the Ultimate Death Knight videos, and he will help you in Ice Golem, Spiders, and Dragons for sure when it comes to next week. So make sure that you kind of got a good plan around, you know, how to progress your different dungeons on so you're not farming low level. Really want to try and push yourself up, ideally to like stage 17 by the time the event happens if you can, because that's going to be where you start to earn some good points. But yeah, silver farm is really important, and obviously moving yourself up in those dungeons is important as well. Okay, so the last area then is arena. Yeah, you want to make sure or try and push yourself through the arena. Make sure that your team makes some sense. You know, what type of teams are you facing? What type of teams do you need to look at? How do you kind of pick out easier wins? You know, make sure you're refreshing as often as you can to don't just fight the whole board. Look at teams you think you can actually take down. You know, when you've got a team that you think might be a good shot, consider what team you're coming in at. So I've got a go second team here, where basically if I think there's a chance I don't win a speed race like this one here, then my go second team comes in. I've got one champion in a shield set, the other in a bolster shield set. I've got big shields, and then I've got 2 champions doing damage. My other setup would be a speed team. So I've got someone who's going fast, someone who's also going fast and buffing my team, drop defense into a nuke. Yeah, pretty basic team comps. And I've got another go second team here with a block damage comp as well. So it depends what I'm up against is what I choose. I don't really care if I lose fights at this level. I don't know what I'm going to be facing. I don't know how well people have built their teams. So if I lose fights, like this looks pretty nasty. Might lose if he freezes. He didn't freeze, so I've actually got a chance now. If he'd frozen, then I would actually be dead already. But again, like, people don't always set their teams up well. And then we've got this dude who's just killed himself. And yeah, I've won the fight. But I probably only win like 75% of fights at my level. And this is pretty toppy for me, for my team and my gear. You know, mid-gold 3. There's not many others that I would choose to fight here. So I just wait until the next reset, go and do something else. And then I refresh and I look for more fights. But basically what you want to be doing is preparing those teams, preparing the right type of teams for the champions you've got. And again, I mean, I've got a number of videos around how to build an arena team. I've got videos around go second teams. And, you know, you just want to make sure that for the champions you've got a decent idea of what you want to do. I'd suggest you also, if you're like, you know, if you're lower tier, give yourself a chance with your defense now. Don't just put a one-man defense in there, because you want to be able to win at a better level to get better points, in my opinion. Some people go down to then farm their way back up. I'm not sure that's the best kind of approach, honestly, but I guess up to you guys. I think that's going to be about it for the video. Look, there's a ton of stuff you can do on a daily basis here. I'll play the referral stuff now. Knock yourself out if you need to do that. And yeah, enjoy it. I've been Hell Hades. Good luck. I'll see you later.